Alright, just to keep things a little not so confusing, I'm just going to make this a quick standalone video. This is going to elaborate more on the rear disc swap. Now that I have everything and some time to do the e-brake, I just wanted to share how to go about doing that. Now I'm using all new stuff just because it's a lot easier, it's cleaner, and it's not all rusty. Here you have the two cables, which are the same thing on both sides, specific to discs. So we have our new cables here, and here's how it attaches. The loop just goes around that lever, which in turn pulls down to engage it. What you have to hang on to is this little clip here. Get a better look. That holds the line inside there. And then what you'll have to also keep, each side has a spring that we'll do here in a little bit. But essentially, it's gonna go around here and loop up to this guy so that it has like a return position. But we're gonna do that absolutely last because I wanna make sure we get everything else right. Now what I also did was ordered a new cable here because I couldn't get this guy apart, this crimp, and I also got a new crimp. I'm gonna change this out real quick, and then when I come back, we'll begin assembling up under there. Alright, so I installed the new cable real quick. There's one holder here. When you undo it, you'll have to take this holder off the old line. You'll find a metal sleeve just kind of floating on the new line. You wrap it around that, and that's what holds that in place. In front of that, you have this hanger right here. You undo that bolt, and you like turn it, and it'll come off that line. Make sure it goes up above the heat shield, and then in the car, we make sure your rubber seal sits correctly. But both those bolts are 10mm. And as far as in the car, you'll take a flat head and you'll pull the head of the cable out of here, and it'll come out of this rail, and you just kind of wiggle and pull this back, and it'll pop out, and that's where you just kind of feed it through. So just make sure how you take it out, it goes back in the same way. You'll notice one side's longer than the other. The shorter side goes in the car, longer side goes out. So let me get started working on what's underneath. Now I've got the rear part figured out. So it's loose because I haven't gone inside the car yet. So here's the new line. This metal piece right here you need to save from the old line. There's like a plastic keeper piece. You pop that off and you'll be able to slide this up the line. Then you'll just slide on this new one. Make sure the long part goes on first, and then it clips through. So once you clip that through, you'll take the driver's side one, and there's like a little hole. You slide the end of the line in, and then pull it back this way, and that'll lock that side in. And then the new line apparently comes with this new crimp that you put each side. So you put your passenger side in one side, and you put from the car in the other side. So now let's go inside and I'll get that part figured out. Okay, so in the car, I'm not gonna be able to see. So there's, on this plastic piece, it spins, right? So there's a spring here that keeps the tension. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna spin it back this way. I got it about halfway and then used a flathead right after this little hex hole and pushed it until the little notch came down here that the cable slid into. And you'll see that there's like a track here for the cable, and that's where it all sits in, so that it pulls cable. So we're done in here. So then what I did is reinstalled the springs on both sides. So from the lever up to this mount here, and now it's time for adjustment. So adjustment's actually inside here, If you're familiar with drum brakes, it's the same idea. There's just like a mini drum brake setup inside here. So this side we're going to take down just a little bit because it spins, but there's a little resistance. And then the other side we got to take down a lot because it doesn't move at all. I got the driver's side adjusted. So I'll show you real quick. Right here, you'll see some teeth. And what you're going to do is spin it either one direction or the other to figure out which way goes away. You know, what you'll see is as you twist this, if you're tightening it, you'll see this kind of come out and start heading down. Or if you need to loosen it, you know, spin it whatever the opposite direction is, you'll see it sucking it back in. And that's how you adjust your parking brake. So, kind of add that in here too. You know, remove your caliper bracket, take your rotor off, and that's how you adjust your parking brake. And make sure you address both sides. Make sure you test. Put the wheel back on to put some weight under there and spin it. Make sure it's going to spin freely. Pull your e-brake lever. Make sure it's engaging properly. Yeah, it's just really trial and error to kind of test as you go and then adjust accordingly. And after this, put everything back together and I can put the car back on the ground and the e-brake is complete. So that's a quick little glimpse at assembling the e-brake system on discs anyway, so that when you do the swap, that's what you need to do to take care of that end. You could probably save buying a new cable if you're able to get this guy off of the old one, because those cables are that part's all the same, as well as that metal piece that would be on here. So if you're able to get this crimp off somehow, just get a new crimp and then your 2 new lines for each side, and you'll be able to just go from there. And again, then your adjustment and all that. I'm going to link the actual disc brake swap here in this video, and then I'll go back in the disc swap video and link this video in that, as well as put in the description to go ahead and check this one out after you do the disc swap. So hope this helps. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.